Disney is having to delay. Just like so many other studios, they're dropping most of their 2024 box office films to 2025 at least. Snow White and the Seven Dirty Hippies, Snow White and the Seven CGI Monstrosities, they have also been vacated with changes, of course, and that is opening the door. A door to Bentkey, the new studio from Daily Wire. Can Brett Cooper, Snow White, and the Evil Queen manage to take the opportunity of a lifetime, as Disney now will have no competitive force that year? No comparison! And so, Snow White and the Evil Queen with Brett Cooper has the chance. Can they capitalize? And will they release this now theatrically, as movie theaters are starving for content? Hello folks, welcome back to another video of excellence here on the WDW Pro channel. What a joy it is to have all of you. We endeavor to explain entertainment, keep you ahead of the culture curve. We think it really matters. Because of that, we find these kinds of conversations meaningful indeed. Joining us today is Jonas J. Campbell, investigative reporter for ThatParkPlace.com. Jonas, welcome back, sir.
Hey, good to be here.
Happy to have you, sir. And we'll start off today with an article out of Deadline. It's a little bit dated, a dated deadline. But it's where we're setting the table. We'll go forth from here to give you the news, folks, as it happens. This by Andreas Weissman, October 16th. The Daily Wire is making a live-action Snow White movie starring conservative YouTuber Brett Cooper. And it talks about the teaser trailer that came out, which, by the way, I would say has some room for improvement in all fairness. But it talks about this new endeavor they're doing with Bentkey over at the Daily Wire, and Jeremy Boering, and all the folks who are involved in this. Jonas, give us a rundown real quick to walk us through exactly how things played out with Disney that put us in a position where people were so excited about a Snow White competitor.
Well, in 1937, the Walt Disney Company released a groundbreaking film called Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. It was the first hand-drawn, cel-shaded animated feature. It's cel-drawn. I don't know why.
He's like Wikipedia, folks. He knows it all.
No, the basic history, of course, is that Disney's been doing these live-action remakes, and they've been kind of soulless cash grabs. There's been a few good ones here for the most part. Jon Favreau's Jungle Book was pretty good. Cinderella was pretty good. But when they stopped being pretty good, they still made billions of dollars. And then the pandemic happened, and they weren't so successful. Now, they put Rachel Zegler on the red carpet to advertise, to talk about the upcoming Snow White live-action remake. And let's say that she took the words that they told her to say, and she said them in a way that didn't go over so well. She started to talk about how it's not 1937 anymore, and maybe we're going to update a few pieces of nostalgia about the film. No, she decided to go really hard in the paint, and even indicated that her co-star might get kicked off the movie because Hollywood. Am I right? Weird. She basically didn't do a very good job on the red carpet for the film, and eventually a lot of the pop culture sphere got a hold of that and started to talk about her comments. Then she responded to all of that by saying, "Oh, woe is me. I'm being picked on by all of these people who are repeating my comments back to me."
And with specificity, she was calling the original tale dated. She was mocking the prince in the story, calling him a creeper at best, and things that are far worse than that. And just genuinely was a rotten kind of person. She may actually be playing the rotten apple, and that would be more appropriate. And of course, all of those comments, they've come from a number of places, but largely the most damaging coming from D23, the big Disney celebration. Yes. So, Jonas, it comes as no surprise then that Snow White and the Seven Dirty Hippies has been moved now to 2025, of course. Now, folks out there know that for the most part, but here's the article, just in case you don't, by Mary Whitfield Roloffs off of Forbes. It says Disney has said it will hold the release of Rachel Zegler's live-action Snow White remake for at least a year. At least a year. At least a year. What am I doing here? Focusing on particular words that have meanings? Silly me. And will push Pixar's Elio to June of 2025. Adding the two films to a lengthy list of blockbusters that have been rescheduled as negotiations between the Actors Union and Hollywood Studios wears on. That said, Snow White and its push to 2025 is unique, Jonas, because other films are being pushed simply due to their scheduling and because of their production being delayed. Snow White seems to be getting retooled. And so Disney has not made an official statement about that, but we've seen the live actors who we assumed were going to be the dwarfs, and by all statements from Disney, it seems that was the case. Now there are CGI dwarfs in place, and it seems to me that at least on that front, which is not insignificant, Disney has realized that they're going to have to redo this movie rather than just delay it. Is that fair to say, Jonas?
Yes, they've given themselves enough time to make this movie over again completely, maybe twice.
Exactly. And this all comes, of course, as the controversy swirls around Rachel Zegler. But at the same time, the Daily Wire and Bentkey, they've put out their trailer for the Brett Cooper-led Snow White and the Evil Queen. And that is going to be coming out in 2024 still, because it is separate from the Hollywood strike. They're not under any of the rules of the WGA or SAG-AFTRA, and that means that they haven't had to stop and start. That means they just get to make the movie. And they also get to release this movie now a year earlier than Disney, which means that they will not have to face comparisons and criticisms with the hundreds of millions of dollar budgeted Disney film, which I'm sure Daily Wire probably doesn't have that kind of money. They get to just put out their stuff and let the audience enjoy it, and then Disney will be compared after Snow White and the Evil Queen has made its full run of whatever it's going to do on whatever platforms it's going to exist. So I think it's a win-win for the Daily Wire, Jonas. Do you see any negatives here?
No, I think it's good. With the direct comparison thing, I think they can go ahead and scrap "Someday Mike Pence Will Come."
Someday, Mike. No. Well, Jonas, we've got an article here that I wanted to read about this situation. It encapsulates the things that I think about this so well. Unfortunately, its title has a word in it that we cannot put up here, and the link also would have that same word in it. It's not that we disagree with it. We just know that would be something that would be eye-raising on the platform in which we are currently projecting this. So what we'll do is, we'll have the link to the website in the video description down below, folks. And then you can see here it's by Al Perota, and it was published on October 30th. Go to that website, find this article, and you'll understand once you see. That said, here's what is on this article, and it's marvelously done. I give tons of credit to this author. It says, hi-ho, it's off to the brew we go. The Seven Dwarfs are back. Disney's woke Snow White delayed getting a makeover. And yes, this is from October 30th, so just about 2 days old in its assessment. It says, keep making noise. Woke corporations are starting to listen. Disney announced Friday it is pushing its woke live-action Snow White a full year to March 2025. And apparently major changes to the movie are afoot. The film was doomed for disaster, especially after lead actress Rachel Zegler trashed the original Disney classic, declaring that Snow White was not going to be saved by the prince, and she's not going to be dreaming about true love. In fact, she called Prince Charming a creepy, you get the word.
I mean,
the fact that Zegler...
so dumb. I mean, come on. Who in this world does not dream about having somebody that loves them? Come on.
Jonas, we come into this world needing love. You would think that, God, it's just so dumb. It is so dumb. When you are so independent, folks, when you are so proud of your own self-autonomy that you don't think you need another person at all, good Lord, it's run amok. Anyway, the fact that Zegler, a woman of color, was cast as Snow White certainly raised eyes from the start. Disney making the casting choice showed disrespect to the original Brothers Grimm fairy tale. That they picked someone so disrespectful of the original only added insult to injury. And here is where I think this author does a fantastic job. It says, cast Ryan Reynolds as Black Panther and have Reynolds trash Chadwick Boseman, and then see how that goes. And that is exactly right. Jonas, it seems to me that Disney has been already sunk by the hypocrisy of their lead actress, and this one-year delay, while probably needed in a normal scenario, I don't think that they can redeem it, and I think that's opening the door to the Daily Wire. What say you?
I think you're absolutely right. And unfortunately, as we've covered, Disney does not make much money on these live action remakes. The entire intention with these productions is to kind of squeak by and make it paid advertising for some kind of merchandising or IP that they sell at the parks. And they've pretty much been at a loss because they spend ridiculous amounts of money on these films. And then there's the cost of marketing them and the lackluster returns that they get overseas. So the entire intention of this is to create a pleasing product that refreshes the IP. More recently, they've been damaging their IPs and just reminding people how good they used to be as opposed to how good they are now.
Boy, that's a great point, Jonas. If you release redos, which is what these live action reboots are, if you release redos and they are significantly worse than the originals, all it does is remind people that you are a shadow of your former self.
And so from a profit standpoint, I don't know what Bentkey's metrics are here and how much they're actually spending on this film. There was nothing particularly wrong with the trailer. Okay, it could have been a little bit better. I will say that music sounds a little bit good. I think they're actually Jeremy Boering is actually doing the music himself. I think I read in there, and I will say after I noticed that, yes, the music is it's decent. The metrics for success for Daily Wire are so much lower, whether it is more subscribers, whether they decide to put this thing in theaters and just have a nice little event where they make, I don't know, around $40,000.
I want to ask you about that, though. Stop there on that point, Jonas. I want to ask you about that. I don't want to let that go. With all the movies being moved out of 2024, all of the big studios are having to delay. The Daily Wire, Bentkey doesn't have to do that. Again, they're not under the rules of the WGA or SAG-AFTRA. They are not beholden to any of that. What is stopping them from really doing this big and putting it into a full theatrical release at the box office?
I mean, I'll go see a Fathom event of it. I like Brett Cooper and the guys at Daily Wire. Sure, yeah, I'm interested in what they're throwing down there. So far on the movie side, they've been doing a lot more, I'll say, mature content that is not appropriate for kids, which is there's so much saturation in the market for things that are not appropriate for kids that I think it's hard to differentiate themselves there.
No, now, I hadn't thought of that either, Jonas. There's a dearth of content that is safe for kids, just flat out. Think about it this way. When's the last time you saw a G-rated movie?
I wonder if Disney's even released a G-rated movie in the last 6 years.
Yeah, I had not thought of that until you
because Frozen is PG, and that's generally where they go now. I'm trying to think if anything has been G, because those ratings seem to be marketing tools more than anything else. I think the last Disney movie to get a G rating might have been Toy Story 3, and that did not go well for them after the MPAA got pushback over all of the toys reaching hands and clasping hands as they go into a fiery oblivion together. Yeah, that's G-rated.
Yet I don't see how that would, maybe I'm wrong. But I don't.
Toy Story 3 was good, but that's my largely my only issue is the G rating on a movie that.
Well, we'll agree to disagree on that G rating. Darn it. Exactly. But Jonas, back to this theatrical release though. Why in the world would they not, given how starved theaters are likely to be? Bentkey could likely get a heck of a deal here.
I mean, you look at what Taylor Swift is doing. There are rumors that they're going to start putting football games on Sundays in theaters. Theaters need to diversify. The easiest way that I can see here is a Fathom event, and yeah, sure, I'll show up for a Fathom event, no problem. Or they could do. They've got the infrastructure. I think they could do it through the Daily Wire or Bentkey apps, but. Yeah, I'll throw a few bucks towards Daily Wire for this if they put it in theaters. Now, that being said, I don't know anything about the quality, and I'm still looking forward to seeing what this is going to look like when it's done. This is all general goodwill that I'm throwing towards them on the encouragement that you don't have any history here, so you've got a blank slate. So. Go big or go home. Do it right.
Exactly. Go for all the gusto. Put this thing out there on the big screen and have at it.
In the same way that
if you really want to go after Disney, let's see it.
Yeah. In the same way that Walt would have been ruined if he released Snow White and it was a dud. Yeah, go for it. Jeremy, Ben, Michael, Andrew, all you guys, do it. Come on. I don't want to say we're rooting for you because of your political beliefs, no matter what they may be. Are saying we're rooting for you because we want good quality children's entertainment that we don't have to go check online to see if it's woke or not.
And we're rooting for you because we believe in competition, and Disney needs competition in the space. So let's have at it. Finishing off this article, it says Disney's Snow Woke was also facing enormous heat for trading the beloved Seven Dwarfs for an homage to diversity that mostly snubbed little people. The very vocal ire of acclaimed Game of Thrones actor Peter Dinklage, who has dwarfism. Although he was the one who instigated it, by the way, folks. He was the one who wanted the people with dwarfism to be struck from the film. Instead, they were creating 7 magical creatures to avoid reinforcing stereotypes. Well, ... Looks like Disney is doing a revamp. Disney, in their statement, invites audiences back into the magical world of Snow White with beloved songs and recognizable characters such as the Evil Queen and, of course, Dopey, Grumpy, Sneezy, Bashful, Happy, Sleepy, and Doc. And Jonas, I had not seen that statement before. It's why I wanted to bring this article into it. Apparently, Disney now is doing a full mea culpa, even with these little inserted phrases of course, they'll have the traditional dwarfs in it. So it seems like a full-on reversal.
That's wonderful. I still can't believe they left out Biffer, Boffer, and Bofer.
Well, it's nice to see that Drinky, Blinky, Winky, Stinky, that they've all hit the dusty trails. I'm sure they're in the mystery van right now, making their way around town, looking for all kinds of cilantro in people's gardens that they can harvest up and see what happens when it's lit upon fire. But
are you referring to the 7 bandits?
Yes, the 7 bandits. And they've been, we've heard people say that, oh, the bandits are still in it. They're different. They're come on now. Come on. I think they took enough heat all on their own. Jonas, I am like you. I saw the trailer for Snow White and the Evil Queen. I think it definitely has room for improvement. That said, a teaser trailer is what it is, and we make no judgment. We definitely do not prejudge a work of art before it comes out. But I'm excited about the opportunity to have a competitor to Disney. We hope that this works out. We just watched what happened with Gina Carano and her statements about Kathleen Kennedy and sort of the cesspool that is that studio at least. We believe that that's probably metastasized all around the company at large. And so why would we not be hopeful that other companies can come in and produce good content? I'll give you the final word on this, Jonas. Do you think that Bentkey actually has a once-in-a-generation opportunity here with the Hollywood strike that maybe Hollywood did not anticipate giving them?
Yes, I do think they have a great opportunity here. I'm seeing a lot of, there were a bunch of set photos of the Pendragon cycle that were coming out, and it looks good. It looks better than CW right now. And if the CW is doing fine and their quality levels have continuously declined, they're not doing fine.
You and I are going to have
the top level ones
a discussion after this about the definition of the word fine.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. If the upper level
financially,
CW,
they financially exist. How's that for the CW?
Yeah, I'm saying it could be a win for the Daily Wire because the threshold is low, and also if you create something good and clean, there is probably a fan base out there. Will it have wide general appeal? That remains to be seen. But I'm rooting for the Daily Wire right here on this, or I should say, I'm rooting for Bentkey. I want something non-political. I want something timeless. I want something snappy.
Yes, and
in the words of Mr. White in That Thing You Do. Come on, let's do it, guys. Make something good.
They're declaring that it's not going to be partisan. It's not going to be political. So that gets it out of the conservative or the liberal sphere. It puts it into something that is timeless indeed. We hope that they can achieve that. And we hope that they can achieve something that is tasteful and artful and maybe even grandiose. We'll see what is behind their writing. Do they have the genius to bring it forth? And does Brett Cooper have the gravitas to be a leading lady in such a film? We're excited here. We love competition. We love when we see studios try new things. And to all the folks working on this film, now that all the traditional studios have essentially had to vacate 2024, what a golden opportunity for them. We will see if you can capitalize. All right, folks, help us capitalize right now by clicking that like button, share, subscribe, and when you click it, you stick it to the algorithms. We are talking about the notification bell. Drop a comment down below. We care about your thoughts. We covet them. So let us know what's on your mind and tell us, do you think that Brett Cooper and Snow White and the Evil Queen can make an impact? Can it dent 2024 with so much else already gone? We'd love to know. Folks, don't forget that the Pro Show is live Thursdays, 5 to 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Check us out, and then we will shout you out as part of the audience, of course. We're also excited to tell you that thatpartplace.com continues to flourish, as does the YouTube channel That Part Place. Jonas, what do you have coming up on That Part Place on YouTube?
We have lots to cover as far as Kathleen Kennedy and the whole Gina Carano situation. We've gotten actually 4 or 5 different stories that are covering different angles of that, as well as daily news roundups to get you ready to go for your news day, to where you're getting all that hot stuff and also the stuff that kind of educates you about the state of the world, and some fun stories that just kind of they're of interest to our select editorial staff that I think you'll like as well. So we're trying to give you a well-rounded media diet here.
That's right, and things continue to heat up as Disney is heading towards their earnings call. We have the Marvels coming out, and also they are dropping upon their mousy knees, hoping and praying that Wish will come true. But that seems to be something that might leave them feeling a little blue in a very female-centric box office month that is November. We'll see how it all plays out. All right, folks, we'll continue to explain entertainment, keep you ahead of the culture curve. You keep coming back, and every time you do, we'll say, wherever you are and whatever you're doing, keep learning, keep growing, and keep having fun.
Listen up, my brothers and sisters. You've been listening to Phils and Zoes with an agenda to destroy your brain cells for far too long. It's time to change your way of doing things. Hold up. TPP is the place to be. Covering the news so honestly. It's a team that's cool and tried and true. Ahead of the culture curve, they're trying to keep you. Jonas and Pro, they run the show, and they dragged in the bearded culture casino. You got Valiant and Lord and Fourth of Light. Wonderful people, yeah, they're alright. They got weird bringing in people like Floral, but made no mistake with Lorena Creole. Amelia and John, stuttering guitarist. Martin and Tawny, and someone called CMS. Fat Steven makes a bunch of other graphics. Did I mention a partnership with Bending in the comics? Fat Sky is a guy, and Doc Matt does the web stuff. There's probably some people I missed. I hope they're not telling you the news that should be fun. With accurate info that's not been spun, you can figure it out as you will see. The TPP is the place to be.